Hello, everybody.
Hey, guys.
We are here for a community update. So special occasion today. This is the first time Stan and I have seen each other in person since it's been, pre-war.
Correct.
So Stan, as I think everyone knows, was in numerous places and finally here in Lisbon. And first time we've seen each other, we're in Lisbon. It's evening. We've been working 12 hours. Cheers. Drinking some, participating in the local culture.
Happy to be in Portugal. And actually, I think we also want to thank Portuguese people and many of our friends in Portugal for helping us to move our engineering office to Portugal and helping our engineering staff members to find places to live. And so far, it's just wonderful. People learning Portuguese language, Portuguese culture, it ended up being very welcoming, this place, Lisbon. So if you guys ever in Lisbon, please visit our engineering team.
Yeah, it's a beautiful city, incredible people. And as Stan said, just everyone's been so accepting and helpful for all the people who are essentially refugees due to the war. So it's been great. And it's just a beautiful place. And there's also a lot of blockchain teams here. So it's turning into the next crypto hub. So we're excited to have the SKALE engineering team here.
Yeah.
All right, so hey, we've gotten a lot of questions, as we always do, and we love it. This community is so awesome and engaged. We're going to try to address some of those questions, but I think, and just give status updates. So there is huge momentum right now in the SKALE project, and one thing I want to call out is just thanks to the modular and multi-chain dynamics and architecture within the SKALE network, and we're starting to see now. If you're reading Twitter, if you're reading analysis posts, modular chains are now what people are seeing as the future to scale. Instead of trying to scale in one blockchain, it's about having an interconnected network that can create many chains. And what that means is you have linear scaling. As more nodes join, the network gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, it's really hard to build a multi-chain network. SKALE is the only live EVM-based multi-chain network. There's already 19 chains live in SKALE. So there's a lot of people saying they're building their chains, a lot of teams, but we're happy to say we're here with the chains. And Stan, how about we give a little update on the tech, where things are?
Yeah, so it's been a crazy time for the last months. I think we're happy that like today is a little bit less over pressure and we can drink wine because many things are happening on the mainnet that people don't know about because we just usually try to find bugs before our users find them. So there has been some set of smaller bugs that we've been fixing. As you said, Jack, we have like almost 20 chains on our network. Everything is coming every day, it was pretty busy. But now I think it's a little bit of less pressure because many bugs have been fixed. We have chains running smoothly. We are reasonably sure that they're stable, and due to all of the automation things we have, many things happen without our control. So we are starting to think about new things, and pretty much like.
By the way, before you move on, I just want to give a little more context there. So this engineering, the core team, as well as all the open source contributors, the product team, the solutions engineering team. The validators, people have been working around the clock, right? When we've been grinding, also, people are out selling, doing partnerships, growing the user base. So what you're hearing from Stan is we're finally at a place where it's like, okay, great, the ball's been handed off. It's up to our, now we support our Dapps partners and we focus on other things. So anyways, good work.
Yeah, let's
keep the ball moving.
Let's celebrate the fact that the bugs have been fixed, many of them, and it's running pretty well.
Yeah.
No, it's a pretty big system, as you guys mentioned, like 20 chains, interaction of chains, interchain token transfers. It's probably one of the most complex blockchain networks ever created. It's running.
Yeah.
So it's running as we are talking.
Yeah, so. Does it all day long, 24/7. So let's talk a little bit about where our focus goes. So we have the core functionality, and by the way, SKALE chains have been available since October 1st, 2020. But creating SKALE chains or modular chains that don't lose composability, don't lose interoperability, that allow users to go from chain A to chain B or chain Z to chain Q seamlessly, that's really difficult, okay? And so now we have that. But what do we focus on next? Like, are there things like user experience, stability? Where's the focus
So
going?
several things, Jack. First of all, security and stability, definitely. We are kind of starting the screws and looking into every possible security weakness or stability problem. And our purpose is to find problems before our users find them. Great thing is that we have many chains. So if a problem is found, we fix it on one chain, but also the fix goes to all of other chains. So the fact we have many chains actually speeds things up a lot in terms of finding and resolving problems. But then the question is, what's the next thing strategically? And like every startup usually works iterations. You release your product to users, and then you get the feedback from users, and the users tell you, okay, this thing is missing, that thing is missing. It's almost unavoidable. And I think we understood in the beginning that UI was critical, but the feedback that we're getting from users is that for the multi-chain networks, the UI is just going to be like a killer feature. We need to have a great UI that essentially hides the complexity of many chains. In the same way as, if you go to Facebook or Google, you don't know that Facebook or Google have millions of computers. And they don't show you the computer names, they don't show you the interactions. You don't have to find out which particular computer is providing you the service. Everything is abstracted out. In very much the same way Web3 needs to abstract the chains. The end users don't need to know what the chain name is, or just even the notion of the chain is not important for the end user. What's important is the app, which the app you're using, how much money you have, and how you can interact with this money in the simplest way, right? So now we have this new next step, which some of our engineers are already starting to design. How do we have a UI, a widget that actually simplifies, abstracts out all of these chains, and this is kind of the next step.
Yeah. You know what? I think I could show a sneak peek of the widget. What do you think? Should I just?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, let's hold on 1 second. Let's just show everybody. All right, everybody. So this is literally a rough demo. Weren't even planning on showing it today, but so imagine this white canvas is a Dapp. Let's say we're looking at Block Brawlers or Crypto Coliseum or Snook or one of the many, you're on the Covey screen, you're on one of the many partners launching on Scale. As a user, you can go click in the bottom right corner and it pops open the widget. You can connect MetaMask to this widget. And what we're making here is just the ability for users to, without changing any screens, make sure their assets are on the right chain. And so you also be able to swap directly from this chain. So let's say I'm playing a Snook game or Block Brawlers, and I want to swap USDC into the game token. And I have USDC in this wallet. I can literally just hit one button, connect MetaMask, and on the back end, it's going to connect to the Ruby chain. It will automate the RPC port connection to that other chain. And the user then will have to confirm on MetaMask and through this widget in a series of steps, which will be clearly outlined. They really just dead simple, hitting the button 1, 2, 3, 4, boom, asset swapped. User can then interact on this new chain with tokens. Or let's say the user wants to go back to the mainnet. It's really simple, just hitting a button through the widget, connecting the wallet, whatever the API-based wallet is, and confirming easily through the widget and through the API wallet, so that any user, regardless of technical acumen, if you can use Facebook, if you can use Stripe, like checkout, if you can use PayPal, you can use this. So that's the goal. All right. So yeah, so Stan, that's exciting.
Yeah, that's super exciting. Actually, I just forgot to mention one thing is that it's super important for us to have the good name for the widget. And we're running a poll now on Twitter where we have some names. You can vote for some of the names there. And if you wish, you also can actually propose your name. So we need a cool name for the widget, and it's hard to underestimate the importance of this because with every computational system, it's important that how the system works, and we have it now. We've been building it for a long time, but UI is also incredibly important. If you don't have the correct UI, people aren't going to use it. So and it's almost like Scale for the next year is going to become a UI project because we have the core, others don't have the core. No one else has the multi-chain metaverse. No one has this token transfers. People are just designing them. We have all of this, and we have the privilege to actually start working on the UI, which is going to be incredibly important. Just to simplify things, because the problem number one in blockchain is how do we make hundreds of millions and billions of people actually use blockchain, and then UI is the critical component of this problem.
Yeah, and this is something I just want to say, we've been working on this for a long time. We've been doing a lot of user experience testing, interviewing people, interviewing Dapps developers. So we thankfully have already a repository and code that's there, but now we're like rolling our sleeves up and we're going to optimize this UI and optimize these workflows. The other UI I want to talk about, and kind of shifting gears from users, is developers. So the next phase, right now, there's a whole decentralized multi-sig effort when a new chain's created and there's a payment that's happening through subsidized manners to subsidize the gas fees to help developers pay for the chain and scale tokens. And it's all very manual across these different organizations. It's not centralized, but it's manual. What we want to have is that to be maintain decentralization and be even more decentralized and enable Dapps developers themselves to deploy a chain. So you don't need to talk to any person. You buy ETH, you buy Scale, you go to an interface and you deploy a chain, okay? And so that also is another piece that's coming together. One component to that is also critical, that involves UI, and it also involves coordination, is decentralized governance. So right now, Scale's run very much like Ethereum. There's people talking on chat boards, on Discord, on message groups. At the end of the day, a decentralized group approves upgrades. So it's just like, is there an on-chain vote to upgrade Ethereum? No. There's improvement proposals. There's communication amongst developers, and then ultimately, this group of people ends up following the different path. And so with Scale, what we want to implement is actually more real on-chain governance. And the pricing for chains has gone around and been published to a lot of people. There's a version being created now for broader consumption for everybody. And then there'll be an opportunity to vote to move it off pricing. And there's a starting point that a lot of people have, again, like Ethereum, come together to figure out where the starting point should be. But at any given point, anybody could say, hey, I have an improvement proposal, and I think pricing should be this, or we should consider this component. And whoever has a token is an owner of Scale. Whoever's a developer running Scale chains is an owner of Scale. Whoever's running validator nodes is an owner of Scale. And so we want to, right now, a lot of people are against on-chain voting. I'm really for it because it makes decentralization more real. People with a token actually have a say and a vote. Now, there's different ways to do this well or poorly, and we have a lot of good examples, but excited too about that coming. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, last thing which I just wanted to advertise that as many people already know, we have several applications running now on Scale, and some of them will start soon, in particular games. So community members that want to help Scale ecosystem, I strongly urge you guys to start playing those games, because the guys that designed the games, in particular Block Brawlers and other guys that coming next week, next week, they're really interested in user experience. So if you have an idea how a game can be improved or how it can be made more user-friendly, please play the game and tweet to us, tweet to the game designers, and we'll be tweaking these things, working with Dapps developers to make sure more people like them and more people play them.
Yeah. So keep your eyes open. There's full team. I think there are 12 people full-time around the clock doing partnerships, helping our Dapps community grow, helping our partner community grow. And actually it's 13 people now. So a lot of good stuff to share, a lot of inked deals. We're excited for the partners to announce. Again, those are not on our, not on our shoulders to announce every deal. So we're excited for these coming launches, and just really excited about the stability and maturity of the system right now. And it's almost like there's this Maslow hierarchy. where, you know, you need to first have like really stable, functioning, secure product in blockchain. And then it's like, okay, let's work on user experience and scalability. And so we're entering this next stage where, again, it's not fresh terrain. These are things we've been working on, but they've been not getting the lion's share of developer attention. And so in terms of allocation of resources, if we had all of the developers working on just UX before we had working product, you know, it's just doesn't make sense. So the shift of focus is going to shift, and there'll still be focus on core tech and stability, but a lot of the, you know, effort and eyeballs and attention is going to move to the other pieces that help scale.
Yeah. So,
One other little teaser update. So there is going to be ETH Lisbon in September, and we want to have the first official SKALE conference. And really, it's a community conference, and it's getting developers and validators and different partners together to talk and iterate and communicate. And we're just the humble servants of the network here. And so we want to help bring people together and bring the people that are running the network and running on the network together, you know, to keep growing the SKALE community.
and then for the conference, I just want to mention that we want to make it as less formal as possible. And usually, if you want to talk at a conference, you submit a proposal, and then it's either accepted or not. If you are a SKALE developer, you want to come to Lisbon, you want to talk about something interesting, please submit your proposal. We'll accept it. The question will be how many minutes we'll give to you. But we promise that if you want to come, and you want to talk about something, we'll actually give you an opportunity to talk.
Yep. Awesome. Okay, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.